A property sourcing agent is somebody who makes a living putting together property deals so that they can sell it to property investors. What is a deal? Who is a property investor? A property deal literally is a property that can give you a profit if you do whatever you need to do and rent it out or potentially sell that particular property to get a profit, right? And a property investor is somebody that's got a vested interest in earning an income using that particular property as a vehicle. So what you'll find is some property investors are time poor. People that go into property sourcing generally are time rich. So the property sourcing agent literally acts as a middleman between the person that is motivated to sell their property, who's the seller, and a property investor generally who is time poor. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 6 things I believe you need to know as a property sourcing agent. So if you stay until the end of this particular video, you're going to learn these 6 things, and I believe your arsenal will become a whole lot stronger. Welcome to my channel. My name is Genevieve Stafford Jack. If you are new here, we have been waiting for you. If you're returning, I'd love to say welcome back, and you're in for another treat. So the first thing I believe you need to know when you get into property sourcing, right, is how to spot a good deal. What are the makings of a good deal, right? So let's quickly get into that. So when you spot a good deal, you're looking for property that's potentially run down. Why would you want to do that? Because in those properties that are potentially run down, or they don't have much maintenance about them, right? Those are the properties that many investors buy under market value. Meaning if it is valued at 500,000 and they can buy it for 300,000, they get instant equity of 200,000. The second thing that really makes for a good deal is that when you get a property that is under market value, you put a little bit of money into it just to get it onto market value and rent it out or sell it, right? And you make a profit from them. So here, let's use rental income as an example. So in this particular property, you get an income, you cover the cost of how you bought the property, whether by bond or you've tapped into your own equity or whatever it is, you have to pay back the money somewhere, right? And in the second level of anything to do with the property is your monthly operating expenses, which is your electricity and your rates and taxes and those lovely things. So you get this rental income, you cover your bond, you cover your monthly operating expenses, and then you are left with this pot of money at the end of it. That is what's called cash flow. So right now, you've got instant equity because you bought the property at 300,000 and it's valued at 500,000. And you've got a cash flow. That's how you spot a good deal. Why? What are the things you now need to have to help you spot that good deal? The second thing I believe you need to have is understanding what goes into it. Because there's numbers, there's research, and all of those things. What I will do is, at the end of this video, I will put up a reference to a playlist where I literally teach you for 9 hours a year on YouTube how to get started in real estate investing and really understand how are you doing these things, including running numbers. The third thing I believe you need to know is you need to understand how to listen out for motivated sellers. People are motivated to sell if the reason is pressuring enough. So here's a reason. Oh, I just want to sell because I want to see what I can get for my house. That is not a motivated seller, because there's nothing pressing them, because if they get something less than what they're looking for, they're not going to sell. So what makes them a motivated seller? When you start listening out for, I found another job in another city, so I need to sell and pack up as soon as possible. I don't like South Africa anymore. I'm going to Australia. Or, you know what? This marriage thing is not working out for me, so I'm giving it a go. I need to just sell this property like yesterday. Those are the sort of things, because people are in a situation where they want to get out of, And one of the saddest situations that I often find is that somebody says, I've gotten into financial trouble and I need to sell like yesterday so I can settle at the bank and let this whole thing be. So when you are looking out for and listening out for motivated sellers, those are the ones where you literally can sit down, reason with them, and see how best you can become a solution to them, because sometimes they will settle and then still want a small little extra so that they can at least have a deposit and 1 month's rent where they're going to. They call it a walkaway fee within property investing, right? So you want to be listening out for things like that. And that, I believe, really just sharpens you as a property sourcing agent, because you become a solution rather than a problem to the next person. The fourth thing that I believe you need to know as a sourcing agent is how to add value on the property. So yeah, you found a freestanding house, right? And then the investor has to put in a little bit of money. But you can say to the investor, you know what, when I was in the neighborhood next door, they had 2 cottages there. So maybe you can put 2 cottages in there, potentially do Airbnb or whatever service accommodation, or a rental, the long-term rentals, whatever your research has found that the neighbors are doing. Because you are then adding value, thereby increasing the income that comes to the future owner, which is the property investor. Now, you would also want to know, Jen, where am I going to find these things? Start looking very close to where you live. Start looking at your neighbors, what your neighbors are doing. When you're driving to work, what is it that you see? Maybe closer to work, that too is quite a busy area. It's potentially a rental, an area where there's a high rental demand. So this is also another awesome one, especially if you've got an investor looking to earn a passive income. Now, when you start looking close to a home or close to work, you're not totally going out of your way, because you are looking at places that you know fairly well. And this is how you start building who you are as a property sourcing agent. You're now finding properties that are not looking so good, which then means you're going to get your instant income, your instant equity from there. You're listening out for motivated sellers. You're looking at these properties on your way to work, on your way back from work. You're running your numbers really just to understand, what does this look like in the life of a property investor who's going to actually buy this property. You're looking at adding value to this particular property. I mean, you're popping on so many different spaces. But what I do believe that brings all of this together is having the right property education. Don't worry, I'm not going to sell you anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a reference at the end of this video. There's 9 hours of property investment training. I decided to do this for everyone that follows me, because there's some of the questions I do believe are burning questions. But other things that I'm really afraid of is property sourcing agents going out into the world, firing up all sorts of stuff, and not really having property investment knowledge as the backbone to make them win within property sourcing. So I wonder if you're going to be that person that clicks on that playlist and decides that the next binge watching I'm going to be doing on YouTube is literally to get my property investing knowledge up to scratch.